Good morning to all of you. Today we are going to celebrate the 77th Independence Day of our country. As we know that our country became free on 15th August 1947. Before this, our country was in the hand of British rule. British ruled over us for a long time. They ruled over us for more than 200 years. At first, British had come to India for doing business of spices. In 1608, William Hawkins, who was the British messenger of East India Company, came to India in the palace of Mughal Emperor Jahangir, and he took the permission of doing business of spices. After taking permission, East India Company began to start the business of spices. After that, many more British came to India and they saw the situation of this country. They saw the situation of the people of this country. They saw the poor management of this country, and thus they realized this country can be ruled by easily. This country can be ruled by them easily. So they began to interfere on the official matters, on the official works of the emperors, and gradually they began to rule. And after some time, they became the rulers of this country. They began to rule over us. They oppressed us. They treated with us like dogs. We were like dogs in our own country. We were like slaves in our own country. We could not do anything without their permission. So we were slaves in our own country. Indian people tolerated their exploitation and slavery, but after that, the people began to realize the importance of freedom, began to realize the importance of self respect, began to realize the importance of dignity, and now they decided to be unite. They began to be unite, and in 1857, the first battle of India's freedom was fought. The first battle of India's freedom started in 1857, which is known as Sepoy Mutiny. In this battle, Rani Lakshmibai, Mangal Pandey, Nana Sahab, Tatya Tope, Veer Kuvar Singh, and many more took part bravely, and they fought against the British bravely. But this battle was overturned by the British forcibly with the help of some traitors of our country. Of course, British overturned this battle forcibly, but they could not distinguish the flame of freedom from the heart of the people. The people of this country decided to make India free from the slavery of British. Thus, this battle continued for about next 90 years. Meanwhile, many people were killed, many were put into jail, many were hanged to be death, but the Indians did not give up hope. They had taken oath to make India free from the British rule. We can't forget our freedom fighters like Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Chandra Bose, Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, Ishfaq Ullah Khan, Khudiram Bose, Rajguru Sukhdev, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. We can't forget these freedom fighters who sacrificed everything for the freedom of this country, for the freedom of the people, not for them, but for the freedom of the people of this country. And we can't forget the tragic event of Jallianwala Bagh Hatyakand, which occurred in 1919, in which General Dyer ordered the forces to fire on the unarmed people, on the innocent people who were gathered at a meeting. And in this event, many people were killed. We can't forget this tragic event. But still, they could not break the enthusiasm of the people. They could not break the courage of the people. At last, our country became free on 15th August 1947. British left India forever, and thus our country became free. My dear students, on this day, national flag is hoisted at every public places. Sweets were distributed. Many culture programs are organized on this day to pay homage to our freedom fighters who sacrificed everything for the freedom of this country. So now we are free from the British rule. But many questions arise here. We are free from the British rule, but many questions arise here. Questions are we really free nowadays? Are we really free? Are we really enjoying the real freedom? Are we really breathing in the open air of freedom? Had our national leaders, had our freedom fighters imagined such type of freedom which we are seeing today? When we think over these questions, we get the answer no. Our freedom fighters had not dreamed such type of country. Our freedom fighters had not dreamed such type of freedom. Our country was known as Golden Bird, but the British robbed many things from this country. Now the situation is also very bad. At first, we were slaves of kings and emperors, and after that of British, and nowadays we are the slaves of corrupt politicians, corrupt leaders, bureaucrats, Naxalites, terrorists, capitalists. We are slaves of them. There is no change in the lives of common people. They were living like slaves in the past, and they are living like slaves at present. So there is no change in the lives of the common people. Unemployment, poverty, and many bad evils are on the top level. Illiterate and uneducated persons are leading us. They are health ministers, education ministers, finance ministers, those illiterate and uneducated persons. And literate and educated persons are compelled to work on a very low salary. They work under them. So this is the fate of our country. And we can say that our freedom fighters had not dreamed such type of freedom. Our country was known as the golden bird, but we are not able to make this country like golden bird even today, because the system of this country is not suitable. We are facing the poor management, we are facing the poor leading persons in this country. So we have not been able to make the country golden bird again. So now the time has come. Now we will have to think over it, and once again we will have to start a big revolution for the change of the situation of this country. So, my dear students, we all have to think over it, and we all have to start a big revolution for real justice, so that our country may be a good and a prosperous country again. So we'll have to think over it, and we'll have to do this anyhow. So on this day, I told you about this. On this day, I delivered my words in front of you, and now it is up to you, because you are the future of this country, and you have to make the country great again. Okay? Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.